Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zach. Today I'm going to be talking about AIHS based on requests from my Twitter account. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe and leave notifications on. At any point while I'm going through technical analysis, you find a playlist in the description below if you don't understand some of these technical indicators to explain what they do and what they mean. Now I'm going to go through technical analysis news and what I think about the stock. Let's jump right into it. So on a 1 week perspective, we get to see an insane surge of volume, and last time that happened it did actually dump the week after, but we get to see as well an unbalanced volume, an increase in terms of inflow like it never seen before. What we get to see as well here is on the ADX, it sits in a 45.41, and it looks like that green candle is coming in dangerously close to an end. Now as soon as it hits 50, it becomes unstable. It's 45.41. Fully percent R puts the stock really close to overbought in terms of the situation, and you get to see that in terms of momentum here, it looks like the stock is gaining back a little bit of momentum, but not enough to continue this strong move. Now we get to see here in terms of the MACD, it's actually attempting to curve up, but it hasn't seen a positive reversal yet. In fact, it's still sitting in negative 0.001, which signifies that it's not actually broken that trend. In terms of moving averages, despite the latest move, it still looks bearish with 30 EMAs above 10 SMA, but it looks like it's all cramped up into almost one single line, which basically means it can either rip up or rip down. Which is very much of a simplified answer, but that looks like it's actually being the case right now. In terms of a 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is an increase in interest in volume, and that looks somewhat bullish here, but what we get to see here is something that is very interesting, is that a Death Star is forming. Well, that's when the 50 SMA crosses the 200 SMA, the purple line and the blue line. The purple line comes in from the top to dip below the 200 SMA. So that is a Death Star and usually signifies perhaps a drop coming. 30 EMA is still above the 10 SMA. The stock has rallied quite a bit above $1 during the last trading day and then fell down to around 75 cents. In terms of the ADX here, it looks like it's actually trading sloppy. MACD looks like it's attempting, well, it's actually gone through positive reversal in terms of attempting. Negative reversal, got declined and continued back to positive. Get to see in the momentum though, it's also very strong. Let's take a look into the moving average bands here. Get to see it's actually expected to trade between 44 cents and 50 in the middle and 54 into the terms of the top. If we were to look at the charts and to try to determine Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci support, we get to see there's currently Fibonacci support at 75 cents and a Fibonacci resistance at $1.05. Now if we were to determine the significant supports and resistances that we're looking at, quick look right here, we get to see there is actually a significant support at the 75 cents. Below that we're looking at the 70 cents, and then below that we're looking at the 68 cents. Below that a very strong support at the 60 cent mark. That's been tested before. And then we get to see as well another one, a 57 right underneath. If we were to look at resistances, what we get to see here is there is a resistance at the 75 cent mark as well, just above right now at 747. Then right above that is a 79 cent one, and then above that we're looking at 84, and then above that we're looking at 92, and then we're sitting at 98. Now let's take a quick look into latest news and what got this company to spike. So the answer is simple. This was more of a sympathy play, which means another stock in its industry has seen a massive jump. The last actual jump, last news was on the 18th of September, and it basically reads as this: 16F Ohio Square middle, and basically just says that that's their address. But basically, with they're just mentioning that they will have a meeting on October 2nd, and a bunch of this meeting details is to elect 5 directors, to ratify the appointment of Friedman LLP, to authorize the board of directors for a reverse split. And that is the biggest thing, especially if you're thinking about this one to investing in. Now I did go through the presentation in my last video, find it in the description, so it's still the same presentation, so I'm not going to go through again with it. But the biggest concern about this one here is a reverse split that will be happening. So the annual meeting will actually happen on October 29th. So by October 29th, although the proxy vote will be on October 2nd, so we will get that way earlier. But if you were to look into, let's say, the notice of delisting here, they do have until, I believe, November 16th. So that means they have 2 weeks before November 16th to hold that reverse split. And so right now we're in September, so November 16th comes in as a Monday. That means by literally October 30th is where the last day they would have to put a reverse split. So that's quite significant because it gives you a month now. Okay, Ed, what about the latest price action? Might actually see above $1 for 10 days. It is a possibility, but I really doubt it because it has dipped before. It might spike here and there, but ultimately it's gonna go back down without news. That's a really good rule of thumb. Now there is as well the election of a new officer or appointee of so in the compensation. So I'm not gonna go through that per se. And then we're going on as well with the board meeting. So when it comes in towards institutional buyers, we get to see one fund added this stock, which is on the 24th, and that's the LEND, so lending and crowdfunding ETF, but around only 3,000 shares. Now you can go on their website and you can go check on terms of news and latest events, but nothing seems to be significant here as well, as I said. Now, how am I going to be trading this if I'm going to be trading it? Now, definitely, I did have a position all the way back to around the 50s, and then when it dipped momentarily around the 44 mark, and then I played that around pretty nicely. But then, if I did hold a little bit longer, it would have been to 372. What you get to see is this stock does see random spikes here and there as well, based on news or just based on random spikes, and it does actually fall back in line. Now, the last time it's actually been $1.05, you're probably looking somewhere around this kind of spikes. There is a potential that it actually spikes just a little bit more to perhaps $1.20, but ultimately it will fall down by the end of the next week. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.